Let's talk about insecurity and relationships. There are men and women today who, instead of presenting themselves confidently as partners, come across as insecure, inferior, and desperate for validation. Instead of saying, "Here is who I am, and if we align, let's build something beautiful," they fall into the trap of begging others to settle for them. This is where love becomes transactional, manipulative, and often deeply unfulfilling. Some people approach dating with a sense of inferiority. They say things like, "I know I don't have the qualities you want, but I'm a good person, so give me a chance. I may not be attractive, but I'm financially stable, so you should choose me." On the surface, these statements might sound humble, but at their core, they come from a place of insecurity. Instead of standing in their value, they are pleading, bargaining, and trying to convince someone to settle. And when you beg people to settle, you are automatically placing yourself beneath them. This mindset shows up strongly in how some men and women react to others' standards. For example, some men will condemn women for wanting certain qualities in a partner, whether that's ambition, financial stability, height, looks, or emotional intelligence. Instead of respecting those preferences, they label them unrealistic or superficial. But here's the truth: everyone is entitled to their own standards, whether you agree with them or not. People have the right to want what they want. Just because someone doesn't choose you doesn't mean they are wrong. It just means you are not what they are looking for, and that's okay. When you beg someone to accept you, you're not building love, you're building dependency. You're essentially saying, "I don't believe I'm enough on my own, so I need to guilt you or convince you to lower your bar." This dynamic creates resentment on both sides. The person who settled feels like they compromised. The person who begged always feels insecure, afraid that they'll be replaced when something better comes along. Healthy relationships cannot be built on pity, guilt, or bargaining. They must be built on choice, respect, and genuine desire. Instead of begging for love, people need to invest in themselves. Improve your character, your confidence, your career, your health, your mindset, not because you want to manipulate someone into choosing you, but because you value yourself. When you truly believe in your worth, you stop trying to convince people. You stop competing for attention in unhealthy ways. You understand that if someone doesn't see your value, they are simply not your person. And here's the magic: when you radiate self-worth, you naturally attract people who recognize it. You don't have to force them, beg them, or guilt them. They see you, they value you, and they choose you. At the end of the day, everyone has a right to their preferences. Everyone has a right to choose the kind of partner they want. If you don't meet someone's standard, that doesn't mean you're less valuable. It simply means you're not their match. Stop begging people to settle for you. Stop condemning others for their choices. Instead, build yourself, know your worth, and align with people who genuinely want you for who you are. Because when someone truly finds you worthy, you won't have to convince them. They will choose you freely and wholeheartedly. Another trap insecure people fall into is constant comparison. They look at who their crush or potential partner is attracted to, and then they try to argue, why go for someone like that when I'm here, willing and available? But here is the hard truth. Attraction is not based on convenience. Just because you are available doesn't mean you're desirable to that person. Instead of asking, why don't they want me? The healthier question is, why am I so focused on someone who clearly doesn't see me as their choice? Rejection is not an attack on your value. It's simply a form of redirection. Yet many people take rejection personally and respond with anger, guilt-tripping, or bitterness. They say things like, you'll regret not choosing me, or you'll never find someone better. But think about it. Even if you succeeded in guilting someone into staying, what will that relationship be worth? Respecting rejection is a sign of maturity. It shows that you value your dignity more than temporary validation. People often say, lower your standards and give people like me a chance. But lowering standards rarely leads to lasting happiness. If someone has a clear picture of the kind of partner they want, settling for less creates hidden resentment. The person who lowered their bar feels unfulfilled, and the person who pressured them into it feels unwanted. That's a recipe for a painful breakup. Instead of asking others to lower their standards, the better path is to rise and grow into the type of person who naturally meets them. Love must never be about convenience. You don't want someone to be with you simply because you were the safe option, or because you were the one who was available when no one else was. You want to be with someone who wakes up every day and says, out of everyone in this world, I choose you. If your relationship is built on convenience, the moment a better option appears, the foundation crumbles. But when it's built on genuine desire, no distraction outside can shake it. Here's the bottom line. Instead of begging people to love you, pour that energy into becoming the type of person who doesn't have to beg. Because when you grow, you won't have to say, please consider me. Your presence will naturally speak for itself. So remember this, people are free to want what they want. You are free to want what you want, but no one should have to beg for love, and no one should have to guilt another person into choosing them. If someone does not see your value, respect yourself enough to step aside, because the right person will. Thank you for watching. Until next time.